up? Big Herc 916. Positivity, motivation. Never settle for average. Go to bigherc916.com, pick up a hat, grab your bar of soap, wash your ass. Don't walk around stinking, man. Ain't nothing worse than a stanky butt. Had to put together the tinfoil hat again today and lace you up because, they say it's a conspiracy, man. It's a conspiracy that the powers that be want us under their control. COVID was the first test. Actually, it wasn't the first. There were many tests before that. But for those who have been asleep, COVID might have red pilled you. Might have woke you up a little bit. Got you thinking. Like, something just doesn't add up. Did you notice that people who were speaking the truth during that whole pandemic were getting censored? They were getting their media accounts shut down. They were being removed from Twitter, from YouTube, labeled extremists, far right, non-woke. This whole plan is to get us divided, easier to conquer, easy to control, fear-based. It's a rule out of the old communist handbook. These people are commies, man. That's why they call it California. They turned California into California. They're communists. And for a lot of you who never had your freedoms taken from you, you probably sit back and think, oh man, Herc, man, he's one of them crazy black guys. He just, got a hair up his ass because he was locked up before and blah, 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 blah. And, he needs to wake up and he's following Trump or he's listening to this or that. Nah, man, it ain't got nothing to do with that. I've always been woke in a sense because I knew something didn't add up. Whether I was sitting in the classroom hearing certain things that didn't make sense in history class. You mean to tell me every black person over here was a slave? That's some bullshit, man. Because I don't feel like I'm no slave, man. You mean to tell me nobody was able to ever accomplish anything? You mean the stoplight, the gas mask, open heart surgery, the automobile? Blacks didn't have anything to do with that? See, as I started researching, I'm like, this shit is been inverted, flipped upside down, and painted a different color. It's all bullshit. History, what they tell us in school, what they teach us, a lot of the things that they push in religion, it's all lies, man. And the great awakening for me was sitting in prison talking to guys about the judicial system and how it really operated. The administrative, the civil side, the criminal side, the commercial code, Admiralty Maritime, the corporations. You guys don't even know it, but we're in a land of corporations. These ain't no damn states. The sovereignty has been removed. It's been subverted. It's been taken over through commercial law. You don't even know it. And I'm not going to get real deep into that, but do your homework. You are a corporate citizen. You are a corporate employee. You have a tax identification number and don't even know it. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You don't want to hear it. Not from me. Maybe if I had another guy come on my channel, white guy with a beard, look very astute with some glasses on, you would listen to him. But I know you don't want to hear it from me. But real talk, man. A lot of you guys never read about the Tuskegee Project. You probably never heard about the water that's been purposely poisoned in certain communities so that certain people die off in a slow, way so it's not noticeable through health. One of my greatest fears when I was in prison, it wasn't necessarily getting into with another inmate. It was if something crazy happened and they locked it down and just starved us out in the cells, or if they gassed us because we were no longer considered worthy consumers. See, I was in prison during 9/11 and everybody was tripping. And I was in a USP where there were a lot of high-powered people, and they started locking people down and locking a compound down and seeing what was going on. It was some wild shit, man. And I used to just pray and meditate that I would make it home, that I wouldn't be subject to something that I had no control over. Because in prison, the ward runs that shit. His guards are his minions, and they do what they're told. And they cover up a lot of shit. Just like they cover up shit on the street. Yeah, you might see body cam years later, but they cover up a lot of shit, man. Check out this video, man. We're going through right now a soft coup, and you guys don't even know it. Peep game.
We're undergoing a soft coup. And the idea is to create a whole new set of laws and ignore the existing human rights laws and other laws under the pretext of pandemic preparedness and the biosecurity agenda. The WHO is developing through all its nations, but with the WHO directorate in the United States in charge, a pandemic treaty and amendments to the existing international health regulations that will remove the human rights protections currently embedded in the IHRs, will enforce surveillance, censorship, get rid of freedom of speech, require governments to censor and only push a single narrative. Also, we will be subject, if they can make this work, to vaccines developed in 100 days, which the organization CEPI is planning to do. And one of the people who founded CEPI was Jeremy Farrar, who is now the chief scientist at the WHO, to bring this forward. Other things that the amendments do is to bind the states so they're no longer recommendations but enforceable edicts, provide a liability shield, get rid of intellectual property rights, move supplies from one country to another, enforce digital passports, and the Director General of WHO can demand that a pandemic or a potential pandemic exists. He can just declare it with no standards, and then countries around the world will have to obey. Also, the WHO will tell you what drugs you can and can't use in your nation once a pandemic is declared. Obviously, the budget will increase. One Health is another part of this. One Health is a concept that was created to enable the WHO, with these documents, to take over jurisdiction of everything in the world by saying that climate change, animals, plants, water systems, ecosystems are all central to health. Also embedded in this concept is a peculiar notion that humans are no longer of greater value than animals.
See, you have people who are awake, but they don't have the mass support because they don't have the media. The media is controlled by the communists, man. The fascists, whatever you want to call them. They want basically, you know, they want to have serfs and kingdoms, and they want you to be proud to own nothing. They want you to go on lockdown when they say lock it down. That's why they push in a lot of the climate change, and now they're going to do the fear of the aliens are invading, go to your house. I mean, look, dude, I don't give a damn about an effing alien. They've been talking about this shit since Roswell. Now all of a sudden we're going to get scared, and you know, they done perfected the hologram for you. They did it in Coachella so that you guys got used to seeing Tupac and these people who are no longer alive. So now when they do the hologram of a UFO or some of these other things, they're gonna create panic and lock it down again. Man, come on, man. When you gonna wake up? When you gonna look around you and see that you're living in a simulation and that this is some bullshit? All I'm saying is that the more conscious you are, the better choices you can make for your family. So you don't get sucked into the mob mentality. You see it going on everywhere, mob mentality. I'm gonna run in here and steal. I'm gonna run over here and riot. I'm gonna run over here and fight this, do that. The mob mentality, man. You gotta think, man. I've been in lockdowns, in cages, and I see how they treat you, starve you out. Went 24 hours with no food, 48 hours no food, drinking water. Nobody, hey, yelling, nobody answers. Psychological, man. And see, a lot of you out here can't take that, so they just crush you. They crushed a lot of people during COVID. A lot of people, mental illness, drugs. That's why the drugs, I mean, look at, this is worse than the crack era in the 80s. I remember seeing crackheads back in the day. This is worse than crack. This is worse than meth. What's going on right now is astronomical in a sense that it's just mind-blowing and you don't come back from it. I've seen crack addicts come back and become drug dealers. I've seen meth people clean up and, get jobs. But this shit now, no comeback, bro. No comeback. I interviewed a homeless guy on my channel in Hollywood, and the guy says you have to pretend to be a drug addict to get the benefits. They done flipped it, man. You gotta wake up. Or you don't have to wake up. Stay asleep. Go night-night. Go night-night. Stay night-night, man. I'm just saying, I'm conscious so I can figure out how to make moves, capitalize on situations, help my people, share my platform, lace you guys up, because I want to see you win, man. I don't want to see you up in prison. Then you're thinking like, damn, you start reading Behold the Pale Horse. You start reading some of these other books, David Icke, and you start waking up and thinking, God, man, what am I doing? Why'd I go up in there and steal this Louis Vuitton bag? Why'd I go steal those Rolex watches? And now I'm sitting up in here for 15, 20 years looking stupid. It's all right to be non-informed on the street, but to be ignorant in prison, they said ignorance of the law is no excuse. So I'm just trying to give you some game, man. You can take it or leave it. Big Herc 916. What up? Big Herc 916. It's going down August 27th, 1 p.m. We're doing another men's panel, and we're going to talk about some high-power conversation. If you want to join in, shoot me an email at info.bigherc916@gmail.com. Holler at me, man. Shoot me an email. It's private, Zoom, no censorship, no trolls, no bullshit, respectful conversation. And I'm bringing people together. All races, ain't no divide over here, man. We uniting. Holler at me, man. August 27th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, which is also the same as Pacific Time right now. So 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Arizona Time. August 27th. Hey, after a hard day's work out here in the sun in Arizona, man, woo, I'm stanking it and I need to wash my ass. Go wash your ass. Go pick you up a bar at bigherc916.com because ain't nothing worse than being sweaty and having to go wash your ass. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at freshoutseries.com.